I'm a little nervous right now. Back out in public again. I don't know. Like, shit's kinda. It's too quiet outside to be doing shit like this. I mean, it's also, you wouldn't want it to be loud, I guess, either. But like, when it's too quiet, and you just like everyone can hear what you're doing, bro. There's people there's a fence right next to me. There's a house right next to me. There's a big ass backyard right next to me. These people must have the if they don't have kids, bro, they're just shitty people, bro. If you have a backyard like that and you don't let your kids just have a fucking blast in it, what is that kid doing? Like, bro, when I was little, I had a crazy backyard, bro. My backyard was like, we didn't have like a swing set, we didn't have shit back there to do, but it's just something about giving your kid like a space. It's just something about being young and having a whole wooded space to do whatever the hell you want. Your imagination goes crazy. When you have that's another thing, bro. When you have less to do as a kid, you become more imaginative as you grow up, right? Like, shit's just like, it becomes who you are. Your brain adapts to that shit, and you become, that's why, like, growing up, bro, you cannot be, you can't be just giving your kids whatever, like, if they need help with shit, bro, you let them do it on their own. I seen videos like Asian people, bro, they treat their kids like shit sometimes. Like shit. But in the end, when you look at how those kids turn out, bro, they're the most independent people ever, bro. They will outperform you they'll be younger than you and outperform you as an adult with a whole job, right? Those people be striving to do shit with their lives. Yeah, like, bro, baby, I want to go back to what I was saying before. Like, when I was younger, bro, I had diddly squat at my house to do. In my old house, I had a playground. I think it was my grandpa's or some shit. And I got so many injuries. I got more injuries on the playground built for kids than I did just being in my backyard, just doing shit, Just having a fucking good time back there. Actually, one time, I fucked up my tailbone really bad. I wasn't playing, but, it's from yard work. That's where all the injuries come from, bro. I don't know about that shit. I didn't really like that growing up, when my parents would make me do like yard work, help them out with things for a whole fucking weekend, and then the week I'm doing school, looking forward to the weekend, and then they're just like, bro, they'll say when I was younger, they would say some shit like, oh, you have the whole weekend to do whatever you want, bro, just focus on school, whatever. My dad would always say, the weekends actually start on Friday. When school's over on Friday, you have the weekend, that's it, you're free. That's why you do your homework immediately, and you're just done. That's what my dad used to look at it like. He said he used to just go home, do all his schoolwork, and just be free, bro. But you know what sucks about that? Is like, if you are the only one doing shit that's, we're talking all about motivation and shit. If you're the only one, because there's however many small percent of people doing that shit, it's lonely at the top, bro. So anything you do to be at the top, you're gonna be alone in. And in my opinion, being alone at that shit is not worth it. That is not worth it at all, bro. Being alone in your own victory becomes being alone in your own misery, bro. At the bottom, that's why people at the bottom, bro, they have more enjoyment out of their own life, because there's so many people at the bottom that you can just, mind you, a lot of them are going to be shitty people, and once you're there, it's very hard to, you ever seen, there's this video on Instagram I saw, and it taught me a valuable lesson that I already knew, and it was this video of these crabs in a bucket. And they were all alive, and they were all trying to crawl out of it. And there was a few, one or two that were actually getting close to crawling out. and all the rest would see that. I don't know if crabs can see, probably not, but they would pull it right back down. Okay? So, that's the same thing that happens with your life. That is the same thing that happens with people, just on a larger scale and a less obvious scale. You don't have to be a shitty person to try and pull somebody down with you. And I bet you've probably done it yourself, bro. Half the things that I accuse people for are things I've done myself. That's the biggest learning lesson you can have in life, is realizing, like, bro, majority of things that I have a problem with are things I've also done. Once you realize that you also do things, life becomes easier, because you can empathize with people. You can say, oh shit, they probably, yeah, I did the same thing. But now that you see that you did it, and you see that they did it, and you have this less angry look at it, you can actually just help them. You can be like, okay, here's what helped me to get out of that, and you can sort of guide people out of being an asshole or whatever they're stuck in, right? Which is why people who, like, want help, people who tell you about their specific problem, if you've never experienced somebody's problem, don't give them advice on it, bro. The only people I notice in life that are really good at giving advice are really smart people. Just a generally smart person, not in every aspect, but they're just generally smart. And like, if you're not, you have to know that you're like that. You have to know if you're like that. If you're not a smart-ass person and you can't visualize the exact situation someone's in and run a simulation to see the best approach, talking like you're a computer, but it's, that really happens in your mind. People, you really can run simulations in your own mind, bro. Like, y'all ever, I feel like I'm just talking a bunch of points and never finishing them, but it's alright, bro. It's alright, as long as I'm entertaining, but like, you ever realize, bro, your mind is so powerful, and it's like, it's not the part that's awareness, it's just this whole part that you can control, and you have so much shit you can do with it, bro. It's like a whole video game. You can envision anything in your mind, unless you have a fantasia, something that, it's this thing where you can't actually see in your mind. You have no mind's eye. But other than that, like, I can sit here and I can run like AI videos in my head, bro. The exact thing that you can do with AI, bro, you can run in your head. I can imagine this building over here just blows the fuck up, and all the bricks just fly everywhere and smash everyone's windshields. And then one comes at me and I catch it. Oh, now Alex is calling me. Fuck. I waited for too long. It's my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. Alright, I gotta go. I gotta go on back. Or should I just save my own peace? I'm gonna keep my peace. I'm gonna do what I want to do in my life, because you gotta always do what you're doing. Don't step off your track to go pick somebody else up. Like those people in those movies, bro, that have the big heart, and they're like the main character, and they're about to win, and you see the villain actually tripping, stumbling for once, and they always turn around to go help them. Fuck that, bro. Fuck that. I'm not helping you. What? Every time I'm watching a movie and the villain gets like, just if depending on how shitty they are, bro, when you finally see them get fucking killed, bro, when you see them get like thrown off a bridge and stomped on by an elephant or whatever, that's the best part of the movie right there. It's like in my heart, like I physically feel like I'm getting a victory out of that shit. It's my win, even though it's for the main character, but like I'm thinking for myself. I'm like, yo, fuck that guy. Is that crazy? Holding the grudge against like a movie character. Maybe not, maybe so, I don't know. But some movies right now are fucking, I feel like we're in a place with movies where everything is just experimental. Every movie that comes out, bro, you know, if you see that A24 logo on it, you'd be, damn, we've figured out some crazy shit that has never been done before with movies. We're doing some very different things right now. A24, bro, they figured out how to make their studio the thing that makes the movie pop. I mean, I think that's been done before with, like, Blumhouse or, what the hell? Blumhouse. It does the same thing, it's just horror flicks. You got Blumhouse and, I know there's another one I'm missing right now. There's gotta be. Warner Brothers. Or, like, the director, too. If you see some fucking, Jordan Peele, that's the guy that made, comedy sketches. Then he turned to making horror movies, and he makes some good-ass fucking horror movies, bro. Damn, Get Out, bro. Nobody really likes the movie, fucking Nope. That's gotta be one of my favorite things from him, bro. I'm always liking some weird movies. For real, bro. Some weird damn movies, like, just shit that nobody really watches. I just have crazy takes with movies, bro. I'll carry that with me for a long time. My preferences for shit does not really change that often, which I see as a terrible thing. That is an awful trait to have. If you're not constantly adapting and changing and metamorphosizing in your life, bro, you ain't gonna go nowhere. You need every part, bro. I don't care if it's the way you brush your teeth, bro. Everything's gotta be different. I don't care if it's the way you wipe your ass, bro. Try standing up once in a while, right? And, like, y'all ever try sitting down pissing as a dude? As a woman, that's actually impressive, though. That is impressive as shit. Gotta give it to you. I should bring an umbrella here one day and have a picnic. I got this little glory hole for the umbrella to insert into. I speak such foul language, bro. For real, bro. What am I saying? Glory hole? Like, that's, bro. I am so bad with that shit. When I'm around, like, a place where I cannot be really cursing, bro. Like, you know, bosses and, I've worked at a Chick-fil-A today, right? It's a good thing about the job I work. It's not actually Chick-fil-A, it's just I get to see so many different, things. I go to the back of all these buildings, I get to see what these jobs are really like. And, you know, I'm gonna start asking people, like, what is it like to work here, bro? And that is such a fucking good opportunity I never took. Because if you can ask everybody, like, what they like the most about their job, bro, that's such a, because you can just, like, see, you can compare and see, like, what is the easiest and most high-paying job. I'm not sure if people are really open to talking about their paychecks. So it's a really weird thing, I guess, to talk about. I don't know why. I'm so open about it. So, like, I'm just... Bro, you asked me to shout. You know, I used to be really closed-minded, closed about that. It was really just something I kept to myself. I actually do know what I'm talking about, but it's like a different way. When it comes to my family's wealth and other people, I don't like sharing that. I don't like sharing that at all. So when people ask me about my family being rich, that's their thing, bro. I know I'm part of the family, but I'm not making the money, bro. Who am I to tell? You know, I'm very, it's very important to me that everyone has their own control of their own things. But, like, you know, when it comes to somebody else's money, I don't care if I have access to it. I'm not just gonna, I feel like shit doing that. I feel like pure shit just doing that to somebody. That's not cool, bro. Why the fuck would you do that? What the fuck you want, bud? What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Right? Like, you gotta respect people's boundaries, bro. That's so important. You can't just be, like, seeing what you can push on just to get, I mean, a little bit, right? You get more out of life when you do that. I understand it. But, like, you know, people got feelings, bro. People got feelings. That's why I'm always saying, like, if I always see people that are sort of like ignorant, like if you're in traffic and there's that person that fucking honks at you the second the light turns green, right? You gotta remember, bro, the reason they're doing that is because they're not thinking all these people are in the same situation as me. We're all in the same problem, bro. I mean, maybe, you gotta do something, but you don't know what other people are trying to do, bro. You got other people trying to go somewhere. And, like, I bet you not all those people. It's crazy. It would be crazy if all those people had an emergency and they're, like, honking, like, I gotta go. But, like, that's why, bro, boy who cry wolf, bro. If you don't have an emergency and you're rushing and everyone's doing that, the one person who actually does have an emergency is gonna be fucked, bro. Do not get how what you're doing actually has consequences, not to you, but to other people. You're fucking other people over. I don't say, oh, well, everyone does this, so I'm gonna do it. Dog. You know what it started? You know how it started? It started with one asshole. One asshole. Why can't it end with one good person, bro? Why can't one person stand up and say, fuck that, I'm good? And, like, if you do that, I guess the idea is that, like, do you care about making the world a better place than you left it? Do you care about making the world a better place than the way you found it? Or not? Alright, that's what it comes down to. So, like, if people, somebody cares about that, alright, do whatever you want, bro, whatever. If they don't care about that, do whatever you want, bro. It's really not up to me. I'm not gonna be over here plotting your whole life ahead of you, bro. I'm not gonna lay down the road for you. Especially when I have children, bro. I'm not laying down the road for them. Like, I get it, all these parents trying to make their kids doctors or planning who they're gonna marry or, just telling them, like, this littlest thing, like, how to cut their hair. I don't care how old you are, bro. You're gonna have control over your life. You can do whatever you want. You can just, like, go for a walk, bro. You don't have to tell me everything. And if I think you're doing some dumb shit, I'll sit you down and be like, bro, I think you're doing some dumb shit. And my kids will be so trusting in me, they'll tell me they're doing dumb shit. And I'll say, listen, here's why I think that. Because, bro, even if you're an adult and you realize that your kid is doing something you think is stupid, you gotta remember that they could be right, bro. They could be right and you could be wrong. So that's why you have to have a sit-down argument, not a yelling match, not a threat. You have an argument. And if they come on top, they're right. They're right about it. Now there's this person coming over here. I don't know what the fuck to do. Should I just keep going or what? I think I'm gonna end this video, bro. He just did a whole fucking swerve around the parking lot. Shit, bro, he's dressed all red. He's a blood, too. He's a white blood. He's Texas blood. Fuck, bro, I'm fucked. All that, wait, why is he just circling the parking lot? What the fuck was that? Why did he just circle the parking lot, bro? I'm not joshing you guys. This guy acted, you know what? Was he just trying to turn around? Maybe he was just trying to turn around. But why go through the whole parking lot to do that? Is he really that? You know what it is, bro? He was trying to avoid driving through the lines. I get you can actually get fined for doing that. It's crazy. Like, if no one's parked there, what the fuck does it matter, bro? There's people probably coming in here doing burnouts and fucking drifting around these things, dude. Nobody gives a fuck about taking care of government property. Maybe there's cameras, whatever, bro. Do it. Gotta let people do what they want to do. If he wants to be a law-abiding citizen, do whatever the fuck you want, man. Do whatever the fuck you want. There's so many people in this world, bro. All you can do is just show your light. you're going to, you have to think about it like this. It's less about trying to convince that one difficult person, and it's more about trying to show your light to as many people who are just on the edge of being on your side to fully convince them, bro. Think of how much bigger of an impact you have. Maybe one of those people is really good at arguing, and they'll actually meet that person who's difficult, and then they'll show them who's the alpha. Alright, bro. Should I go for 30 minutes? I don't know. I'm shaking my legs. I'm so nervous. I'm shaking. I'm a weird type of person because I don't bounce my. Speaking of bouncing, what the fuck? What the? Speaking of bouncing, they're just bouncing around in the parking lot, bro. Boing, 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 boing. I think these people have been doing jumping jacks here, not jumping jacks, but like they have a jump rope. They've been doing this the whole time I've been recording, bro. This little man, this little jaunt, they've been taking turns on the jumping rope. I wonder if they're stopping people and being like, let's play. 1, 2, 3. Or maybe they're just kinky. I don't know. I think I'm gonna end off the video here because things are getting freaky out here. Things are getting a little weird. Something's off in the air. Smells something off in the air. It's because I just farted? Maybe. I actually did fart. I have to take a shit. Should I just go up to one of these places and be like, let me use your toilet? I gotta shit. Oh my god, I gotta shit. I gotta shit. Fuck, I gotta shit. Can you carry me to the bathroom? I can't move my legs. Oh my god. I'm fucking paraplegic now. Help me. Help me. I just like drag myself across the floor. Oh my god, my shit. It's taking over my body. Ah, it's in my brain. Oh my god. And you gotta walk in there. You gotta have like green, like brown eye contacts, and like the white of your eyes is brown. Like, oh my god. It's in my brain. Alright. Have a nice day, everybody. Would you? Just have a nice day. I gotta go. I saw this lady, this girl with, she had like, you know, you can tell when someone has like thin hair. She had this like thin, bleached hair with like green and red and blue and it was more like, it was just weird. It's just, I fucking hate some people just don't know how to dye their hair right. They do some dumb, stupid shit with their hair. Just dye, like, okay, do frosted tips or whatever. It's a little weird, but do it. Dye your hair red. I don't remember. You seen Ghost Roots? I wanted those. But like this shit with just some ugly colors for no reason, bro. Some ugly fucking colors like that. You know that wrestler? He was on the Matan podcast, and he had just like a whole rainbow of colors in his hair. I get it, you know, some people like it. I'm just saying in my opinion, it's just nasty, bro. You know what? It reminds me of just like when like kids, it's like a kindergarten art project in your hair. Y'all ever met some kids that they just had like little like crayon drawings all over their skin and shit, and, like paint on their hands? They just always have fucking shit on them. Like, for my sister, she just draws shit on her arms all the time. My mom would be like, that's absorbing into your skin. She would just keep doing it. I thought I was the boss too. I'd be like, what? Why are you doing that? Stop doing that. Stop. I had to learn, with my sister, I had to learn how to not try and control people. Because I would tell her to just like stop doing things. And I would be so obsessed with these things she would do that like there would be no reason for me to tell her she can't do it, right? And I'm like sitting here like recording, and I'm like, oh my god, look, and I'm showing my parents like, I just caught her doing this shit that I didn't like. What are you guys gonna do? And it was like this, her doing this with her lip. What was that about? Why'd I care? Why the fuck did I care about that? I would get so irritated by it. I would get so irritated. You know what it was? Is that in my head I thought me telling her to stop, like, oh, that's not good, and then her being like, nah, I can do whatever I want. I took it as her being like disrespecting to me. Like, it was like on purpose. It was like just to put me down. You know, that's why some people feel like they need to control you, because like they think being told, because I've been in this place, I know what it is, they think being told no means like they're being put down. So they think I have to force this person to do this thing, or else they are putting me down. And that's the way they look at it. And God, I hope they move past that. They have the realization that I did. Sometimes I just, it could be something that I do for my whole life, and all of a sudden I just have this epiphany. The light goes off in my head, and it's like, wait, what? What's the reason for doing? Why did I? Y'all just see that? There was a fucking buzzing buzzard in my hair. Yeah, that's what I have with that. I just had a realization one day, like, why am I doing that? Like, what was even the purpose, bro? That happens to me sometimes. Sometimes it happens and then it goes away and I revert back to how it was, but other times I keep it. And I hope that a lot of the realizations I've been having with like social anxiety, like I'll have a realization in public, bro. I'll be so anxious and I'll just realize, like, wait a second, bro, why am I anxious? Like, what? And I can try and recreate, I can try and force myself to be like, why am I anxious? Why am I anxious? And it doesn't ever work the same way as me just like casually stumbling upon the thought. So like I'll be in public thinking like, why am I actually anxious? What is going on? What's happened to me? And again, it doesn't matter if I force myself to think that. So there's just like a certain like pizzazz, a certain sparkle to these type of natural thoughts that just come into my mind. That like makes it actually work. It's like, it's just like slaps the retard out of me for a second. I'm just like, wait, you know, this whole time there was no reason to ever be scared. There was no reason to not be able to make eye contact. Like, what was the point of that? Fucking crows. Get the fuck out of my sight. Yeah. I'm gonna go. Bye. I've been holding in this shit. I'm gonna go on another tangent, but like, I'm gonna start walking while I do that. I'm just gonna go. Peace out.